Doesn't Jack Reacher sound a little bit like a porno star name, or is that just me? All right, I really don't care what Tom Cruise does in his personal life. I don't care who he marries, how many kids he has, whatever, blah blah blah, who he worships. I just judge the movies as they come out. I've grown up watching Tom Cruise, and he comes out with pretty decent films. So the other day I got to see Jack Reacher, and it's a decent effort. I really liked it. I had a good time watching this film. Let me get into the film a little bit. It's directed by Christopher McQuarrie, and he worked usually on scripts. He's only directed a few movies. The movie he directed was Way of the Gun, and which is pretty popular. He's wrote the script for Valkyrie, I believe, Usual Suspects. He's done a bunch of script revisions for some of the Mission Impossible movies. He actually might direct, I guess, the next Mission Impossible movie, according to IMDb. But Jack Reacher. So it's based on a Lee Child novel, and Jack Reacher appears, I guess, in a few of the novels. I've never read any of them. A lot of people were mad because Tom Cruise is not the physical stature of Jack Reacher in the books. I guess in the books he's like 6'3", 280, and that plays a big part. But the problem is getting someone 6'3", 280 to deliver lines in this movie that's going to be quality. I think that's a hard thing. And as far as the character goes, I was fine with Tom Cruise. I really liked his portrayal in this film. I mean, the story is just there to basically introduce this character of Jack Reacher, and they do a really good job of that. So let me get into the story a little bit. Basically, it starts off with this guy. He opens up fire, and he snipes off like 5 people in the middle of the city. When he gets caught by the police, he winds up requesting to see Jack Reacher. And through some exposition, they basically explain that Jack Reacher's, an ex-military badass who's kind of went into hiding, and that he was ex-military, like special investigations, and basically he's a kick-ass sort of guy. As far as the movie goes, the parts I really liked were, first of all, it was extremely funny. I didn't expect that from the trailer. I was thinking, I hope it doesn't get too cheesy with the, some of the comedy aspects. And it's not really comedic, but Jack Reacher's such an asshole in the movie. He gets off some great lines. There's one scene in a bar with a girl, and the lines he gets off in that scene are the best lines. And one of the lines, I was literally laughing for about 30 seconds. It was so funny. I was quoting it all day today. Hilarious. I mean, just funny stuff. And some of the people in the theater were laughing so much, occasionally I missed the line. So, first of all, the movie has a good mix of action and comedy. The action is really subdued, I thought. There's a couple of there's gunfire at the beginning with the sniping. There's some gunfire at the end. There's a couple of physical fight scenes, and there's one car chase. And it's all really subdued. There's nothing really out of hand. I mean, in the car chase, he doesn't, drive through any buildings or jump over anything or really anything. It's like an old-fashioned car chase that you would see like an old school movie. And I really liked that. I was thinking when I was watching the movie, I said, man, this is kind of like one of these old school, like 80s action movies. And that appealed to me. Mix that with a comedy, and you have a pretty decent film. The majority of the film is basically Tom Cruise investigating what happened, in these killings. And action isn't the main driver. It's basically the investigation, and that part I really liked. As far as Tom Cruise's performance in the film, I think he did a really good job, especially delivering the lines. I mean, some people, of course, are going to have a hard time believing him to be a badass, but to me, he looks kind of like ex-military-ish. He's a slender guy, short haircut. I mean, it's hard to blend in if you're 6'3", 280, and that's one thing I liked about the Bourne movies. Matt Damon looks like the type of guy who could blend in anywhere. So besides that, the other characters are kind of lackluster. The girl who plays the DA's daughter and the cop, there's not too much character development there. The one character besides Tom Cruise that's really good is the bad guy. He's named Zek, and he's awesome. I mean, every scene he's in, he steals the show. He's only in a couple scenes. He's like the extra special ingredient in this movie, and he's played by Werner Herzog. I don't know if you know who he is, but if you do, you get extra points for today. One film that he's basically a famous filmmaker in his own right. He's made a ton of movies over the years. One you might know of is Rescue Dawn with Christian Bale. His scenes, he's one of the best bad guys of the year. I'll tell you that right now. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. I was going to give it 4, but there are some things that I had issues with. Obviously it's an action movie, so there's some conveniences there. Besides that, it's pretty good. The editing seemed a little weird to me too, but I was extremely tired when I saw the film. The question of the day is, what's your favorite Tom Cruise movie? Mine used to be Days of Thunder. I haven't watched it in a long time, but for some reason when I was a kid, I really liked Days of Thunder. I don't know. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you soon.